All righty. So to all I missed coming in, I apologize. I see you. I'm glad you're here joining us, Paul and Chirito and Ione and Arlene. Hello, Rachel, Bill Smith. Yeah, Justin Gray, Bob Zubla. All right, so it is that time, isn't it? It's 12:02. So shall we ring in the last meeting of the year? You know who I didn't see? Jose Garcia, are you here? I don't see
him on the list.
I don't see Joe. All right, well, hey, Arlene, since you're here, would you do our invocation?
Of course. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good.
All right, so here comes the ringing of the bell. Whoop, whoop. All righty. So with no Joe, let me quick mute everyone, Arlene, then you can unmute yourself. And
I'm unmuted.
okay, hang on one sec. There we go. Everyone's muted. Now you need to unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go. I can hear you. Perfect. Thank you.
This is a very special occasion for me. And I want to ask God's blessing on our Rotary meeting today as we meet and join together for the last time digitally. We look forward to being with you on the 29th and again beginning the 13th. And we ask God's blessing on our meeting today. And Heavenly Father, watch over those of our group who could not be with us today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, for everybody, let's see. You know, I have to admit, this is not the easiest thing to do with glasses on, but there we go. So Roxanne, here's your big opportunity. It's not Oktoberfest, but
I just say ready, begin, right? For the Pledge of
yes.
Allegiance? Okay.
Yes, you
I'll say it with me too.
Yes.
Again. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
republic for which it stands,
and
one
one nation, under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
and all.
Excellent. See how easy that was? Thank you. And patriotic song.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. So What a beautiful song. Our song, too. I want every sister and brother up there to sing like they never sang before for old Satchmo. Let's go.
Alrighty, and as Rick Greenstein pointed out, Louis Armstrong actually wore Star of David his entire life because he was raised from the age of 7 by a neighborhood Jewish family after being abandoned by his mother. And then I believe his grandmother passed away at the age of when he was 7 years old. So nice story. Welcome to our last official program of the 2020-2021 year. That's me waving bye to everybody. Our guests, whoops, I skipped this ahead a little bit. Lori Filer, our program for today, welcome. Who else do we have here that's a guest or visiting? Are you also a visiting Rotarian, Lori? Yes, very nice. Welcome. Who else do we have here?
Joanna's on.
Okay, let's say hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us again. We are so glad to have you again. All right, so Lori, this is normally we would do this all together, but we discovered in Zoom that didn't work very well, as you might imagine. So our own Aussie, hey Dan, how are you? Our own Aussie Arcienega did this so that we can honor you properly and without making you cringe.
Howdy, we're glad to have you here. Welcome, we sing it loud and clear. Relax, enjoy the program, and won't you come back to see us again?
Hey, Andy, I see we got Scott Hurst back this week.
Got what back?
Scott Hurst is with us.
Yes, we did. Oh, and I forgot to introduce him as a guest. I apologize. Scott, sorry.
No problem.
After 1 week, I was just like, you're a regular. You're joining us, right?
No, well, I hope to become one. I'm working with
well,
Vaughn
I'm
on
sure.
that.
We're hoping you will too. So welcome to you as well. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. I'm representing street stewards, which you guys will hear more about down the road.
Okay, perfect. You're going to be doing a program on that, I believe.
Yes, I believe. Yes.
Nice. It was
I'm
originally
back
scheduled.
in 1 minute. I got someone knocking on my door. I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
So next week is demotion, and we'll talk one last time about that in a moment. On the 6th, we're going to be dark, and on the 7th, Haven House will be serving food. On the 13th, we'll have our district governor visit from our brand new district governor, Dan Gensler. And on the 20th, Ed Varso will be here to talk about the police department. And on the 27th, we'll hear about the challenge of treating COVID-19 patients. So it is demotion time next week.
It is.
And one thing I do want to note on demotion before Jan says anything, there may have been a small glitch for some people, but not everybody. If you signed up and didn't get the payment page, please do bring a check to the demotion next week, because we do need to collect to pay for the food and all of the plastic sheeting that will protect the floor from the food fight. Jan.
Yes. Yeah, you never know what could happen. First of all, I would like to say that we have a record attendance for demotion this year. I think we're all excited about being able to get together in person again, but also we're very excited about honoring Andy and his year. He's done a fabulous job of keeping us together and keeping us entertained, including today with the sunglasses and the Hawaiian shirt and the whole bit. But today is the last day to sign up. So we have to give the center an accurate count so that they can prepare the food. So if you have not signed up, you need to sign up right away, quicker rather than later. So let's say by 4 o'clock today would be the cutoff time. And we just are very excited about it. There'll be a silent auction also, so bring some money or your credit cards, and look forward to having a wonderful time, just being together and celebrating each other, as well as celebrating the great job that Andy did this year. That's it.
Thank you. And Dara, I think that answers your question, that you can bring a credit card as well as a check. So thank you for asking that question. I didn't think about it. All right. Member moments. Do we have any member moments today that anyone wants to share? All right. Hearing none. I'm sorry, I can't see the entire crowd here. So if I'm missing a hand, just feel free to speak up. All
Andy?
right. Yes, please.
The second serve group representing Escondido serves held
I
their
got that.
first tennis clinic in Uganda yesterday.
That'll
And
be
this
coming
last
right.
weekend, the first one in Escondido.
Nice. So I actually did get your photo and I did get it added in. So we'll just remember that when I see it come across. Ken Myers asked, what is the dress and theme for demotion? The dress is New Year's Eve, and theme is New Year's Eve, because out with the old and in with the new, right? All right. Christine.
Hey, everybody.
6 minutes.
First, I want to thank Andrew, who brought this idea to the club last year, and for giving me the opportunity to do it while he was president. It's been a pleasure getting to know everybody better, and I hope this part of the meeting has helped all of us stay connected through the things that folks post about their families or their travels or their adventures. Here's Joe Garcia. Happy Father's Day with his kids.
Oh, sorry.
Indeed.
Multitasking.
And Jan and husband Steve a few years ago. Happy Father's Day to Steve. This will be a long meeting, Andy, if we don't.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to multitask.
Here's Vate Campbell and Andy and the kids. Here's me and my son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter. We went to see Peter Rabbit 2. Highly recommend. 2 thumbs up. This is Ozzy and Julia and AJ. Happy Father's Day.
See, do you only have one shirt? Because they're not wearing the same clothes in both pictures.
It looks that way, eh?
Oh. And here's Kurt Beyer and his 2 little ones. This is Rick and Susan, and they're at Kit Carson Park with, is it Suzanne from the Escondido Arts Association? I think so. Vaughn talked about her last week.
It is her.
Honoring her. Mhm. And oh my gosh, is there anything Alex can't do? Here's, they just don't teach you in conducting school how to replace a floor, but if your music school needs one, she didn't know we have a construction committee in Escondido Rotary, but wow, yeah, impressive.
The only downside is she's now missing a finger and can't play the violin anymore.
You're awful.
All right, this is Mayor Mack and Susan and Rick again at the Escondido American League. What is it, Rick? The first, not the first day of the season. You were there for?
It's the American Little League's
Closing
closing ceremonies.
Closing ceremonies. Thanks, Mac. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, that's great of you all. The reason I missed last week is my dad got notice to come to his Visalia Rotary Club. He's leaving after just about 50 years in Rotary. So they asked him to come and they gave him a plaque for 50 years of service. They gave him a next level Paul Harris Fellow. He had a letter from RI President Holger Nat, and they made him a lifetime honorary member. So he was in tears. I was so happy to be there for him. He was very, very much honored. And yeah, it was really nice.
Congratulations to him from all of us.
Yeah, thank you. Johnny Watson, 56 years married. Happy anniversary to you and Donna. And Jackie Skay, yes, the current art exhibit at the Escondido Art Association. It's fabulous. So we should go.
Is that center picture Aussie and his wife?
Oh, he's not in a pink shirt, is he?
No, no, that was dancers at the Del Mar Fair a couple years ago.
Royce Moore's graduate grandson, Alex.
And apparently he's a traitor to the family.
Going to Boise State.
Yeah, instead of the Community College of the West. Yeah.
Vate again, so proud of Jayden for getting through her freshman year during the pandemic, and 4.0 also. And her son did last week as well, I think. So, yes. Wow, good on Vate and Andy. Wendy Schaefer's youngest son graduated high school, 2 down, 0 to go. Nice. Congratulations to Ben. And peace out, 3rd grade. This is Alicia Reeves' son, Travis. Ready for summer.
Yeah, that was before the haircut, I'm assuming.
That was a different child.
Oh, different child.
I think he's had a haircut if he's been in 3rd grade. And here's Rachel. Here's Rachel's daughter, Evie, graduating. Happy
awesome.
Family.
Congratulations to all of the graduates and all of the families.
All of the fathers.
And all of the fathers, yes. So Christine, one last moment?
One last moment, yes. I wanted to thank everyone. You heard sort of middle of the year that the district has new rules in regards to the money we donate to the International Rotary Foundation. Our goal this year was $9,000. I made the plea and talked with some of you personally and by email to make your donation or to contribute what you might. And Escondido Rotarians came through as they always do. We have 5 new Paul Harris Fellows or multiple Paul Harris Fellows since our governor's visit in March. Johnny Watson, Bob DeZubla, Linda Stanwood, Chuck Ailing, and Larry Trotner. And Bob, Linda, and Larry, this is their first Paul Harris Fellow. So we exceeded our goal of $9,000. We needed to get to 14 to apply for global grants next year. And we are at over $21,000 this year to the Rotary Foundation. So thank you to everybody for making this a great year for Andy and helping me too.
Thank you, Christine. That was hard work, and I know you did a great job. So thank you.
Thank you.
And this is what Dr. Moyer was just talking about. The Ugandan tennis clinic. And I'll just read this. Tennis clinic in Uganda yesterday by the Escondido Serves group, or the Second Serve group. And that's so very cool. And we're very, very engaged with these folks. And I'm very proud of this program that you all are leading. And thank you.
Andy, I need to mention that we have.
Oh, hang on a second, Vaughn.
The Brute Squad.
I'm on the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
We need a miracle. It's very important.
Sorry, Vaughn, we'll come right back to you. Ron Smith, that was your intro. Didn't I see Ron Smith? Okay. Then I'll speak for Ron because
Well, that's okay. I'm unmuted now, and so
there you
even
go.
though you can't see me, I'm actually paying attention.
Yes.
Anyway, what I said was I'm going to miss your creativity in our Zoom meetings. Maybe we should pay you money for that. It's really good stuff. Yeah, so we're down to about 16 people that still haven't gotten their dues in. Good news for the club is maybe all but 5 are likely to get it in, even if they're going to be late. A little bit worried about a couple people that we don't want to lose, but we'll work with the board to try to contact them and twist arms and stuff. But thank you to everybody that's got your dues in. And if you haven't quite done it yet, please get that taken care of. And then we can move on to having fun stuff. Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome. And just to follow through on the video, here's our Brute Squad that we're going to be sending to your door. All right, Vaughn, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just so appropriate to honor the Second Serve group and Larry Troutner for their event yesterday. He's going to be presenting on the 13th of July, giving pictures and explaining what we're doing. But we had a great kickoff event yesterday down at Washington Park with the support from Education Compact and some wonderful people from Second Serve, even down from Anaheim up north. And it's just a great thing to see this movement now going into the community with our goal to support opportunities for these young people to learn to play tennis and rather than get in gangs.
Nice. Yes, it's an amazing program. You guys are doing good work. All right. So my final introduction of the fun song. And I thought, Jay, you might appreciate this. Let me do one thing here real quick. I'm going to mute all. And then Jay, you can unmute yourself. This week's fun song for our program is by Jay Pink Floyd and to the tune of Another Brick in the Wall.
So close. You just missed by that much. Okay, here we go. It's the only song I know, Roxanne, so here goes. If you need a home and can't get a loan, then Lori's group may help you out. They'll work as a team to build you your dream, and you'd be so happy you'd shout. Habitat for Humanity is here to let us know we don't have to fear. They can build you a house for you and your spouse, so let's all give them a cheer. But wait, there is more. She's changing jobs for sure to oversee businessmen and women. She'll be the lead and we'll succeed. Let's give her a 10 out of 10.
Woo!
Uh,
Hey, and Jay,
yes.
I hope you're not too embarrassed, but I did take a picture of us rehearsing this song together.
Which one is me?
I think that's you on the right, the shorter of the two of us.
Okay.
Dara, would you like to introduce our program?
Yes, I would like to. Okay. Lori Holt-Filer has a passion for helping others and has been an active supporter of San Diego Habitat for Humanity for many years. Since 2012, Lori has served at the helm of the organization, guiding Habitat and providing a hand up to families that might not otherwise have the opportunity to have a home to call their own. Lori has demonstrated true commitment to San Diego with over 25 years of community involvement. Elected to the council of the city of Escondido in 1992, she continued her service as mayor there for 3 terms. She's been widely praised for her regional leadership, especially for her expertise in transportation and housing issues, serving as chair of SANDAG from 2008 to 2010, and as associate vice president of the Regional Vision Initiative of the San Diego Foundation, where she directed the process to create a 50 to 100-year strategic vision and action plan encompassing the shared values and priorities of all residents of the San Diego region. Lori has dramatically increased San Diego's Habitat for Humanity's ability to serve more families in San Diego than ever before in the organization's 30-year history. The nonprofit organization has expanded its successful model of building simple, decent, and affordable homes in partnership with families by incorporating the revitalization of neighborhoods surrounding Habitat's newly built homes. Lori holds a BA in accounting from National University and an MBA from CSU San Marcos. She and her husband, Tim, reside in Escondido, have been married for over 35 years, and have a daughter, Lindsay. Please welcome Lori Filer.
All right. Can you see my screen?
You can.
How do I get to the beginning or?
The very top above where it says home, above where it says home, you see the slide, the screen. That's nope. To the right.
This one?
That one.
Oh, there you go. All right. Hey, good afternoon. Good to see so many. Uh-oh. Of course that would happen, right? So good to see so many of you. I wish I could see you all in person and give you a hug, but maybe we'll get to that next week, right? So I'm going to talk today about Habitat for Humanity, not the Building Industry Association. We'll get to that when we get to questions or whatever. I've been very blessed to be working for Habitat for the last 9 years. And I would have to say that when I was first elected in 1992, I didn't know anything about housing. When you get elected, you don't know a lot about a lot of things. You have to really learn what it takes to run a government. And so I ended up serving on a couple of committees and learned a lot about housing. You run for office so that you can make good decisions for people so they could lead better lives. And what I found out is you could vote on water rates, you can vote on freeways and libraries. But what I found out is that when you have a home that you can call your own, that's when families really thrive and can take care of themselves. So I became very passionate about housing and came to understand what a difference that makes. And now with COVID for this past year, you recognize even more so that so many people don't have a safe and decent home so that they could take care of themselves. We kind of take our homes for granted. So Habitat, here's a few Rotarians that you might recognize, maybe from another club. And I'll talk about women building a little bit. But here's some of our families that we've sold a home to. And so when you think about Habitat, we get the gist of it. So we build our homes with families. We build the homes. We buy the land. We entitle it. We get the permits. We're a construction company, so we build the home. We build with volunteers, and we usually spend about $400,000 to $400. I think do you guys hear the planes? I'm down by Miramar. They're working today. Unusual. So we build the homes, we work with the families put in their sweat equity so that they have their down payment. But when you think about our average median income, $92,000, you think that that's a pretty good salary, but you can only qualify for a mortgage of $350,000, maybe up to $400,000. And my slide is only old by a couple of months, but we all know prices have gone way beyond that. And skyrocketing, right? So we are the Habitat for Humanity. We serve all of San Diego, and there are about 1,200 affiliates across the country serving all of their own communities. We raise our money here, and we spend our money here. So it's a kind of every affiliate is very independent. Our mission is to seeking to put God's love into. We put it into action. We build homes, communities, and hope. And we do that in a number of different ways. Dara talked about that a little bit, and I will get into more details. So we work with families that are earning between 50 and 80% of the area median income. And I showed you a slide already that shows a family of four could be earning $92,000. Most of our families earn between $60,000 and $80,000 a year. And usually have very good credit. They've known that they wanted to figure out how to buy a home. They've been watching Habitat. They've been working with us and figuring out how to get their debt down or whatever it takes so that they're prepared to buy a home. So they have to have a need for housing, willingness to put in their sweat equity, and the ability to, a lot of people think that we give our homes away, and that's impossible. They have to have the ability to pay for that affordable mortgage. And so I said that we spend about $400,000 to $500,000 to build a home. We sell it to them at the price that they can afford, which is exactly 30% of their income. So in that, their housing costs include the mortgage, the property taxes, any HOA fees, and insurance. So all their housing costs will add up to 30% of their income. Then if they want, and our families, because they've helped build their home, usually stay in their home. They have their sweat equity. They're emotionally invested in it. In fact, I know I talked to a family in Escondido, and they had paid off their mortgage. And I asked him, are you going to sell your home? And he's like, well, no, I helped build this home, and now I've built a swimming pool, and I have my grandkids that come over. And so I'm not leaving this house. And out of the 5 children that he had, we talked to his daughter, and all 5 children are in professional careers, whether they are a police officer, accountant, or whatever. And she says, I know our family would not have been able to have this success if their family hadn't been able to buy a home from Habitat. So the reason why I'm passionate about housing is that you are able to take care of yourself, you're able to thrive. And you may have people that are 50 to 80%, close to poverty, and that takes that family out of poverty for generations, just by having a safe and decent home. And I said that we have volunteers. They work side by side. A lot of our volunteers have been come from corporations. So a corporation will come and bring a team out. They sponsor that day for $5,000 or $10,000. That's a big part of our fundraising. Haven't been able to have corporations come out for the last year, so that's been a downside to the COVID experience. We're just now bringing volunteers back on site. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, you can go onto our website and see what opportunities are available. And we are going to have an Escondido project as soon as we get a permit. And I saw that the mayor is in the audience, and I don't know if there's any hope coming from there, but we're close to getting a permit for our 10 homes in Escondido, and that will be nice. We are also the bank. Our families, we originate the mortgage. It is a 0% interest, and they make their payments to us every single month, and we use that to build even more homes. But our financing includes that we sell the home to the family, we have a mortgage, and then we will monetize that mortgage with the bank so that we can have that cash immediately to work on the next set of homes. Here are some of our recently completed homes. And there's a project that we have in Escondido off of Elm Street. And that's a little bit older picture because I've just went by there and the trees are getting to be very mature already. we're working on 2 homes in Lucadia right now, and and 6 homes in National City. So that's what we're actively working on. The 2 homes in Lucadia are just about finished, and the homes in National City won't be complete until next year. And you see in my background, that is 11 homes that you see right here from COM22. And we sold those last homes just this past December. We sold 3 homes in December. We sold 4 homes the December before, which December of 19, the world was happy, right? They moved into their homes in December. All 4 of those families independently called somebody here at Habitat during the month of April, May. So grateful that they had a home during COVID that they could take care of their family through that whole COVID experience. Because you'd be pretty shocked at what situations the families can come from. It's a challenge. We also do neighborhood revitalization, and when the 11 homes that we built on Elm Street, we also did neighborhood revitalization in Escondido, and we worked on about 50 homes in that neighborhood. And you think that neighborhood is not very stable, but we only work on homes that are owned by the family. We don't work on rental homes. And we worked on about 50 homes there, doing some roofing, some fencing, painting of the houses, landscape, and there's a lot of home ownership there, but a lot of the families did not know one another. So through that whole experience, we were there for a couple of years. Families started working with one another. They got to know one another. They were over there helping to rebuild fences and paint the house and so forth. So I think that's one of the great benefits of doing neighborhood revitalization. And we only do neighborhood revitalization near our new construction. And usually we end up in older neighborhoods. So we're bringing new housing into an older neighborhood. I like for us to introduce ourselves to the neighborhood so that they'll welcome our families when they come in, and then also work with the families in the neighborhood to upgrade their homes so that they can feel better about what they have. And we're always trying to make sure that whatever we do will make the cost of the maintenance of their home less than it was before we were there. We also do, so neighborhood revitalization, I said is near our new construction. We have a veteran repair program, and we do that all over the county. Home Depot is a great sponsor for that program, and it is surprising, some of the situations that some of our veterans have, that they own their home but really can't take care of it anymore. It has become too costly for them. They don't have the retirement income that they have is not sufficient enough. And I also think that it offers an aging in place experience. And so I think that there are some situations where the male is afraid that he's going to die and leave the home to the wife and not really be livable. So they're very, very grateful when we can help fix something up. We also, how many of you have been to the Restore? All of your pictures are on the side, so I can't see you raise your hand, but we have a Restore, a retail facility here in Escondido. I'm very happy about that. And you can donate if you're doing remodeling of your house. If you take your cabinets out nicely, they won't go to the landfill, and then they can come to the Restore, and people buy cabinets all the time. If they're doing their own improvements, they buy those cabinets and reinstall them, and it works out really well for them. We get, you never know what's going to be at the Restore. You have to go quite a few times and keep tracking. Then you're going to find something that you didn't know you wanted, but you definitely need to buy it. So volunteer, as I said, we've just now started opening our volunteer experience, and we'll have lots of opportunities in Escondido. It'll take us we'll get our permit, and then it'll take us a couple months to get the grading done and the foundations. And so it'll be about the end of the year, January, when we're ready for volunteers. So if your club wants to come out, sponsor a day, that would be great. And there's other opportunities for volunteerism as well. The Restore could always use some help. But still, as we all know, it's difficult to hire folks right now, and we can't pay much higher wages. And so if you could come help and volunteer at the Restore, that would be awesome. So you can make a difference. Everybody can make a difference. And there you go. that's my piece. And so I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. I did not ever think that I would be leaving Habitat. I love Habitat. Being able to change people's lives forever is awesome. But the Building Industry Association knocked on my door and asked if I'd consider their role. And so the opportunity to have a voice that can help people understand the need for housing and that this is all of our problem. It's not the building industry's problem. It's all of us as a society. If we do not have the stable housing that we need for our community, we will lose a sense of community. And I believe that passionately. I think about Escondido, and you can't walk down Grand Avenue without meeting somebody that you know. We have a history of we know one another. And if we do not have stable housing, then your families will be chasing housing. They will stay in one place for a little while and have to move because they're chasing for something that's more affordable. So our kids won't know one another. They won't graduate with one another, and we'll lose that whole sense of fabric. So that's I can talk about that some more, but I'm very passionate about it. I saw Jay has a question.
Yes, good luck in your new job. I was wondering whether what the default rate was. Do you do pretty well with everybody coming through and paying the mortgages?
Yes, I am so glad that you asked that question because I usually tell it, especially to elected officials, so that they can understand the importance of home ownership. We have upwards of 200 mortgages, and we only had 3 families that needed help through this COVID experience. And we put it out there. It was important to me that we actually put it out there that if you're having any difficulty, reach out to us. We can figure out what to do, because right after I started at Habitat, it was during the when housing just exploded. But a family found it difficult. He got laid off, and he spent his entire 401k to keep his payments up, and then finally came to us for help. And it's like they would have really preferred he not use up his 401k in his retirement. So we only had 3 families. We helped them for 3 months, and they were able to get back on board. When your mortgage is affordable, you'll figure out how to pay it. When you read in the paper, when your housing is taking up more than 50% of your income, you can't handle it. You won't be able to figure out how to do it. But at 30%, it's that you figure out how to manage it. So, and that is across. We meet with the other affiliates in California all the time, and they are having the same numbers. So it's across, at least for Habitat California, our families were able to keep together on their mortgages. All of us, just a small handful of folks that needed help. Yep.
Laurie?
Yes.
Is there any kind of a contract or arrangement of how long they need to be in the home? It makes sense when you were giving an example of a family making $60,000 in income. So you're selling them a house for 20. What prevents them from the following year selling it for 400?
Not that well. So we sell the home to the family at an affordable price, and they can sell it back at any time, but it will also be at the affordable price. So our families do create wealth, and it's mostly because they have a 0% interest, and the value that they can sell it back to us usually goes up based on cost of living. So as time passes, they benefit from the cost of living increases, but not from, and so there's not a contract of how much time you have to stay. It's based on what you can sell your home back for.
Hey, Lori, this is Roy Henderson. Hi.
Hi.
I have a question. I know wouldn't apply here in the West Coast, but is Habitat for Humanity in other parts of the country, they get involved in rehabbing abandoned housing and trying to make it suitable for people to live in, places like Baltimore or Detroit, old factory towns. Do they get involved in that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. And we would as well. We had a pretty good rehab program going when I first started in 2012, but now, to buy the home and rehab it. And when we rehab a home, it is almost rebuilt itself, because we want it to be in a situation where a family's not going to have to start spending a whole lot of maintenance dollars on that. It doesn't need to be a money pit for them. But yes, in other parts of the country, there's a lot of rehab going on. And there is some rehab going on in California as well, but we are not doing it in our affiliate at this time.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Questions? More questions? Scanning. All right. So Lori, amazing. You do amazing work, and it's really, it's wonderful what you've done with Habitat here. And I'm excited for your new opportunity. That's, are you going to be able to take some of the Habitat philosophy into that group?
Well, the chatter is, to bring an affordable home builder over to the building industry is a little bit of a pivot on their outlook. I think what I heard too is through the conversation, the folks that they had talked to, I'm the only one that's been at the counter trying to get a permit and understand how excruciating it is to get through that process and how frustrating it can be. So I asked, they asked everybody, what are the top 3 reasons why we don't have enough sufficient housing? And it's like, the first reason is you can't get it across the counter. It's too hard, and it shouldn't be too hard. And the second is that elected officials won't vote for housing, and they should. And then the third is NIMBYs. And so everybody thinks it's NIMBYs first, but that's not the issue. It's really processing it and getting it and having a good understanding of what it takes, what it takes to get a permit. We're actually going to, at Habitat, we're going to start inviting, now that COVID is over, we were going to start before, but now that COVID is over, we can invite the engineers and the planning department to our job site and do a little bit of building so that they can touch it and feel it and understand, sometimes with the rules that you put in place, we get out on site and it's like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, because you guys told us to. That might not make all that much sense. And if they could touch it and feel it, they'll have a little bit more confidence in the planning process that we all as society vote for and impress upon ourselves, but the practical implementation is sometimes a challenge.
Jake.
Who's taking over for you, Lori?
I didn't realize this was be such a disruption for Habitat, and I'm getting more sad as it's getting closer to leaving. My last day is a week from today, but we're engaged in a search process, and so it'll probably take a couple of months. If anyone has any ideas, you send them my way. And I think that there's a lot of people in this county that could do a good job for Habitat. It's impossible to know what the Habitat job is, but to know the county, understand the region, and have some financial acuity are the 2 critical skills.
Very nice. Very good. Well, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to coming and seeing you all in person.
Yes, and we do too. And congratulations. I'm excited for you. And I'm excited for our county actually as well, because I think from everything I've heard about you, even though I've only met you once personally, everything Krista tells me about you and Dara has said about you, I cannot imagine a better person for that job. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yay. All right. So
congratulations to you. I heard that you've had a tremendous year. Lots of good compliments have come from your way you might not even realize.
I have to say they're probably all overblown because the club itself, they did the hard work. I just sat here and pushed buttons. So
they're really glad
thank
you
you.
weren't the ones pushing the buttons. They think you did a really nice job of pushing the buttons.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you again someday soon.
Mm-hmm.
So we will, I'm going to confuse everybody a little bit here because it's just the way I am. I will give you, whoops, what happened? There it is. Instead of shower thoughts today, it's final thoughts. And when I was growing up, my grandmother had this poster on her wall. I only took the first 2 paragraphs. It's a poem called Desiderata. And the first 2 paragraphs impressed me even when I was just a wee thing. And so I wanted to share this. Go placidly amid the noise and haste. Remember what peace there may be in silence, as far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. And I will ring out this bell. Where is my button? Let's see, ring out the bell for today. Come on, button. Whoops, come on. Let's see here. Ah, fiddlesticks, come on, there we go. Let's do this. Ring the bell.
Way to go. That's all, folks.
That's all. You all have an amazing week.
Yay! Sorry.
It's all good. I can't wait to see you all next week in person and give everybody hugs. This is going to be a great, great celebration of the club. And I just thank you all very much. It's been a great year, and I'll say more later. So thank you all. Have a great week. Enjoy and get your fancy dresses ready.